Hello, Facebook friends. It's Lisa Turner here from Psycademy. And oh my goodness, I've been having so many downloads about what's going on kind of with us as a species, like the human species. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is I'm going to share with you some of the insights that I've been getting from my, I don't even like the word guides, and I'm going to explain why. Maybe today, maybe not, see how we go for time. I might explain why I don't like that term in another live. But what I'm going to talk to you about today, what I really want to talk to you about, what I've been getting, my downloads from Source about how we are evolving as a species, how we're evolving physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and the spiritual revolution that's going on, which is nothing less than the awakening of the whole species. So what I'm going to talk to you about is how our DNA is being activated and how it's not. I've got a little list here. And the blueprint of perfect health and how that relates to healing. So I've just come off a call with some of my spiritual success masterminders, and we were talking about and sharing, and I was channeling and invoking about this idea. So let's backtrack. So first of all, the first piece I'm going to share with you is about the blueprint of perfect health. This is not new, although it might be new to you. So the idea is that the way our body is run, so the unconscious mind runs the physical body, and it runs it from the blueprint of health, which is stored in the unconscious mind, and the blueprint of perfect health is stored in the higher self. So the idea is that when we manifest a disease or when we create a disease, what happens is that the blueprint of health, like the blueprint of the body that the unconscious mind is running your body from, creating your body from, has somehow become damaged. But the good news is the blueprint of perfect health is stored in the higher self. So all we need to do is bring down the blueprint of perfect health, or actually before that, we need to find out how that blueprint got damaged, remove the cause of how it got damaged, bring down the blueprint of perfect health so that it's in the unconscious mind. So then the unconscious mind will run the body from that blueprint of perfect health, thus removing disease. Now, it doesn't happen instantly. It can always take some time. And it really comes from the idea that, like, we are designed to be in perfect physical health. And that, if Deepak Chopra's work was, he looked at how long, he asked a different question. He didn't ask, okay, so why is it that, how is disease caused? He asked the question, like, really, how is it that we don't just automatically restore to health? If we looking at say something like, I'll probably get the times wrong, like the amount of time wrong, but I think it's something like 6 days or 7 days for the lining of the stomach to completely regrow. So the question isn't, how is an ulcer caused? The question is, how is it that it doesn't heal after 7 days? If you've got a whole new stomach lining in 7 days, how is it that it just keeps being reinstalled? Well, it's because, using this model, that the idea that the unconscious mind is running the body, creating the body from some kind of a blueprint, and that blueprint has a damage in it, like a fault in it, which says create an ulcer. So so the unconscious mind just keeps running, creating the body from this blueprint with the fault. So we keep manifesting a disease. So what you do is you find the cause of that, and then remove that cause. And we use in Psycademy, we use our higher self therapy and the Psycademy emotional release technique. And then once that's cleared, we then bring down the blueprint of perfect health from the higher self. Now, so a couple of things that might be interesting to you. So one of the things we do is, so when we look at, when we think about our emotional release process, we don't actually release the emotions. I mean, we do, but the emotions are caused because there's some energy block. So there's some energy block, and then the emotion, what we feel as a result of the energy block is the emotion. So we don't actually release the emotion, because that would be releasing the symptom. What we do in Psycademy with this Psycademy emotional release process should be really an energy release process, because we release the energy that's causing the negative emotions. And then what we also do is re-release that, whatever it is that's causing that damage to the blueprint of perfect health, so that you can just run the body, you just reinstall the blueprint of perfect health and run the body from that. Now, here's the exciting part. Here's what I've been channeling in. So we've heard, I mean, I first heard this idea about how you can upgrade your DNA, and I just thought, oh, that sounds like bollocks to me. Because like the DNA, that's like a physical thing, and, it comes from our genes, and surely that can't be affected. And then what I got today was this insight that actually what's happening now is, so this is where it gets really la-la and really woo-woo. And so the first thing I'm going to say is this is a model. I'm not saying this is a truth. This is just my way of understanding what's going on. So, my engineering brain is going, you're sounding mad, Lisa. And the other bit of my brain is going, yeah, she is sounding mad. So all the bits of my brain are saying, she's sounding mad. So we'll all gather together to say, it's just a model. And you know what? Engineers don't even trust magnets. Magnets are mad to engineers because you can't see it. How do you know it's there? So just like magnets, this is a model. So what I've been receiving is these kind of insights that right now we are being supported around the planet. I'm probably going to start channeling in a minute. Anyway, we're being supported around the planet by these highly evolved beings who are communicating with us at the level of the higher self. And what they're doing is they are assisting us to awaken and evolve. And they're doing that at the level of the higher self. And one of the things they're offering those people who choose, now you need to ask, and you need to have your neurology cleared. So you remember all those energy blocks I talked about? You need to have those cleared. So those of us who ask and who are receiving these initiations into this DNA activation. So what they're offering is to, at the level of the higher self, to install new genes or switch on new genes to create the human species 3.0. Ooh, sounds kind of fun, doesn't it? So I don't know yet what this means. Like, I don't know yet what we're going to be able to do with that. I certainly know it will give us more energy. It will give us more, it'll start to raise our vibration. It'll give us more, oh, this is what I'm getting. So we're going to be, start to be more compassionate to each other. And this is what ultimately the goal is, where we get to the level where we recognize we're all one. Now, that doesn't mean that we're all homogenous and we're all the same, but that at some level, at the level of the higher self, we're all connected, and that you can't hurt someone else without hurting yourself. You can't hurt yourself without it causing hurt to someone else. So if you hurt yourself, you're also hurting another, by the way. Uh-oh. Beat yourself up about that now, those of you who'd like to beat yourself up. There you are. So what this activation of these new DNA strands are going to create for us is the ability to be super, super connected to each other, to really, to be more compassionate. It's going to increase our emotional language. Most people have only probably most people have three emotions that they're like the default ones. And that's happy, sad, grumpy, or angry, or pissed off. Yeah. And what we need to do is we need to increase that emotional vocabulary so that we can really understand the nuances. Thinking about language, I've studied biblical Hebrew, and that's a root language. So it's really, really close to the original. So a root language is where the word, the sound actually vibrates with the meaning of the sound. So for example, the word Kodesh, which means kind of worship or love, that sound is close to that experience, Kodesh. And I'm probably pronouncing it wrong because, I don't know how, I haven't met anyone who's, well, actually, my teacher speaks biblical Hebrew and he corrects me on my pronunciation, which is good. I think it was pretty close, actually. But if anyone speaks biblical Hebrew, feel free to, improve my pronunciation. So the idea of language is that as we've got more evolved, our language has evolved, so it has more subtlety and more nuances. And English is actually quite a rich language. If you think about the number of words there are for just, a simple concept as big. So we have big, large, grand, huge, humongous, enormous, gigantic, and they all mean big. Yeah, oversize, extra size, super size. Just all means big. So we have all these, and there's subtle nuances to that. So that's because we've become more evolved and more awakened, where we need more complexity of language. So that's what we're going to start evolving into with this activation of this DNA. Now, if you have any questions, if you're watching this live and you like what I'm saying, hit the old like button there. And also, if you have any questions, pop them in there. Really, really happy to answer any questions about any of these concepts. Now, if you're not watching live, don't worry. Pop the question in and I will come back. I'll cycle around and I'll answer that question later. Now, one of the questions that a lot of people do ask me is, how do I receive this? How do we ask? In fact, that's one of the questions that was asked by the mastermind. How do we ask for these initiations? How do we ask to have our DNA activated? So the way we work in Psycademy is we do this through the process of initiation. And so the process of initiation is the process of asking, but also making sure that you're able to receive, totally able to receive. Now, the first initiation that I always recommend is the initiation into your higher self. That's where what we do is we bring the higher self so it's physically above your body, and then we do an energy exchange, and then we bring the higher self down so it's in your physical body. Now, we do not guarantee any miracles, and we're actually doing this on one of our live events from the 3rd to the 5th of November, and it's called How to Be a Six-Figure Psychic. And it's for people who are either professional psychics and want to be better, thinking about, maybe you're not even psychic, you might be any kind of holistic spiritual practitioner. And it's about you, not only the money stuff and the business stuff, it is, but it's about anything. So it's whether you want, greater spiritual connection, improve your health, healing, whatever it is, that's fine. We can work with that. There'll be an element of that on the program. And the way I think about it is like this. So where's my pen? I got a nice purple pen here. So what we really do well in Psycademy is I got this message recently. I'm the spiritual technologist, so I create spiritual technology. So it's a bit like the pen is the spiritual technology, like my pinky purple pen. So it's like saying, so with this pen, could I write about healing? Yes, you can. Could I write about relationships? Yes, you can. Could I write about money? Yes, you can. Could I write about spiritual connection? Yes, you can, because the technology is what enables you to do the writing, and then how you channel that into whatever topic is entirely up to you. So that's what we're going to be doing at that live event. I'll pop a link in so you can go and find out more about that. If you have any questions about the activating of the DNA and how you do that, and anything else, just pop that in the little chatty box there now. I'll just hang around, see if we've got quite a few people watching. So hello, you lovely people. And if I don't answer them now, if I'm here live, I will answer them. But if you're watching the replay, just pop the question in as well, and I'll come back and I'll just pop the answer in as a comment. So, okay, what else might be useful for you to know about the Blueprint of Perfect Health? Yeah. So one of the things that about the Blueprint of Perfect Health, about the emotional cause for why we develop illness. So here's one of the interesting things that a lot of so when it comes to physical health, here's one of the interesting things about it. And I was just working with a fabulous woman just recently, literally half an hour ago, and we were talking about some issues she was having with her health. And I said, we kind of got to the emotional root cause, and I thought we were pretty close to being able to release that, which we did. But before I did that, I said, when it comes to physical health, there is always something that we call secondary gain. So there is another way of phrasing this is there's a positive byproduct. So either your health issue, and I'll explain why that is in a minute. So either your health issue gets you something, and one of the things I see, it gets you sympathy, it gets you gifts, it can even get you attention. And it's not that having attention is bad, it's just that there are even better ways of getting the attention that you need, or recognizing you don't even need it, that you might just want it, and then you can do a good thing to get good attention. And also it can get you, it can kind of get you out of things. Now, I will totally own this. So there was a time I was working in a job and I wasn't really loving it, and we had to go away on a business trip. And I really didn't want to go. My boss I didn't get on with him very well, and I was going to have to spend a lot of time quite closely with, close proximity with him, and traveling and, kind of I don't know. And I really didn't want to go. And as it got closer and closer, I was like, I really don't want to go. I really don't want to go. And then my body, my unconscious mind heard that, and it said, oh, okay, well, the best, easiest way we can do that is we can just, so do this. And it created an ear infection, which meant I couldn't fly. I could do everything else, but I just couldn't fly. I mean, I didn't feel great, but I was okay, but I couldn't fly. So it was the perfect manifestation for that. Disappeared, strangely, 2 days after the business trip was supposed to be over. So for that time, I just couldn't fly, so I couldn't do that. So it gets you out of something that you don't really want to do. Now, the ideal is that obviously you'd never need to manifest illness, that you would be doing a job that you really enjoyed, and that you would be resourceful enough to feel okay about even doing the things, it's like when it comes to energy, when it comes to motivation, it's like you don't get it beamed into you. You are the generator. You are the bringer of energy. And those who have energy, you are the ones that are going to create so much more. And that's why this spiritual awakening to raise our energy is so, so important. So I could say so much more about the awakening of the species that's going on right now. So I will just say this, and I'll end with this. You will know who you are, those of you who are self-selecting to be the leaders of this awakening. Those of you who are willing to let go of your money issues and step into being that professional spiritual practitioner so that you can guide others to their awakening. And you will know who you are. You will be self-selecting. Now, if you do feel that you are one of those people, do check out our event, because there will be a bunch of people just like you. You'll get amongst a community of people who are there to support you, to support the species, because none of us can do this on our own. I can't do this on my own. And one of the things I want is I want you to be my best case study. I want to be able to showcase you and how amazing you are. So, I would say I probably get 30 requests for coaching a week. And I don't actually do one-to-one work because it's not my purpose. My purpose is to enable and work with others who are doing the one-to-one work. I'm the master spiritual teacher. I'm the initiator rather than the coach. I'm the trainer of the coaches. Now, that doesn't mean, do I do one-to-one work? Of course I do. I do a fair amount of it for my VIP clients, but that's not my purpose. So what I want to do is all those 30 people who come to me, I'd love to be able to be sending those to you, to, my spiritual practitioner graduates. And so if you feel called, if you know that you are one of those, in fact, if you feel you are, hit the like button, hit the love button. If you feel that you are one of those who are here to be a spiritual leader, to assist the awakening of the species, the evolution of the species, if you feel that that's you, and pop it in. If you feel called, if you're self-selecting. There'll be people around, and there'll be others who will comment on your comment, supporting you in that. I just know that because I know that that's what happens. So I think that's it. So I can see lots of you on there. So till next time, lots and lots of love. I love you, and I love you for self-selecting, for standing up. So what did we talk about? We talked about downloading the blueprint of perfect health, how it gets damaged, how you ask for it to be downloaded, secondary gain with healing and activating our DNA, and the awakening of the species. Just that. So till next time, hope you enjoyed my Facebook Live. I enjoyed seeing you here. Lots and lots of love. Till next time. Bye for now. Bye, everyone. Bye.